you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here to talk about Kendal Rich making a private matter a very public one, and also deciding to show her threats to another person on her TikTok. I had quite a few thoughts, so if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so it's Our Life. You're familiar with them. I've talked about them before. They are a family vlogging channel. They have presence here on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, the whole nine yards. Recently, Kendal Rich decided to share with her audience that there was some infidelity in their marriage. And before we even get into the main topic of this video, I just want to discuss that topic for a second because it's definitely a case-by-case basis. I try to look at each situation for what it is. You know, how's it being handled? What's being said as a commentary channel? It's difficult for me to just blanket statement too many things. There are a few, but for the most part, I try to be fair and look at each situation for what it is. The only influencer that I have discussed on a normal basis on my channel that is also recently going through a separation is Brianna K. I wanted to talk about her in the beginning of this video only because she recently did a life update where she filled in her subscribers, and I want to reiterate kind of what my message was with her situation. I don't think anybody, at least speaking for myself and a lot of the comments that I saw on my videos, nobody was expecting her to, quote, spill tea or go into any detail. I don't even think that a lot of people were expecting her to announce that they were getting a divorce. A simple, we're going through some transitions right now. It's really difficult. Please have some patience, because then when subscribers saw the information that is public record because it's a court document and it was released, they would have been able to reconcile, okay, she said that she was going through something. I'll bet that's what it is. And it would have just been a really generalized way of letting people know what was going on instead of leaving them completely in the dark when you're a lifestyle vlogger. You literally allowed people into the labor room and put up your labor and delivery vlog. Like, your subscribers feel very close to you. So yes, some of them were frustrated when she wouldn't even mention that anything was changing. When it comes to Kendal, we're on the totally opposite side of the spectrum now. Now we are monetizing family issues. You know, Kendal is using sensationalized titles in her videos like she usually does. And most recently, and the reason that I'm making this video is because on TikTok, she decided to share text messages between her and the third party involved in this situation. Initially, I wasn't even going to cover this topic at all because there's really not a lot of commentary to give when two people are going through a really difficult time. Do I think that all the details should be spread in the manner that they're being spread right now? No, I don't. But outside of that, like, what is there to really give commentary about? It's really sad. I feel for her kids, and I really feel for them because she's choosing to air out so much dirty laundry and act a fool on social media. There's two things that people are saying about this. Either they are going along with her narrative and believing everything that she is showing and saying and all of this. There are also a lot of people saying that she and Daniel are doing this for clicks and views and a way to insert a new storyline into their content and be able to monetize it. Unfortunately, family issues are interesting to a lot of people. A lot of people like to see this family drama and, you know, in-laws that don't get along and the engagement that was called off. People are front row with their popcorn if you're going to make it a sensational story. I don't want to say that she would fake this for views, but then again, if you look at their content, they are definitely ones that clickbait consistently. They're always thirsty for views. And let's be honest, the realm of family vlogging is not what it was 3 or 4 years ago. The popularity has definitely gone on a bit of a decline, and I'm sure that that is stressful when you want to be a full-time influencer and you have a really expensive taste and you're constantly shopping at really high-end stores, and even if they're tax write-offs, that lifestyle still adds up when we're talking about a channel that is not getting the engagement that it was 3 to 4 years ago. Now, the TikTok that she decided to put out says, "The day I chose the low road and didn't feel bad." And this is allegedly a text from her to the third party involved. And it says, "Hey, quote, Mike, hope you're holding up well. This is Kendal, the wife of the guy you were. First off, my condolences on how quickly he left your ass to come back to his family, LOL. But let me tell you what I'm going to do. Not sure if you know the power I have. You're aware I'm a famous social media influencer." That's so tacky. I don't care what anyone says. That is so tacky. You're literally in the middle of a really serious infidelity situation, trying to figure out, what's going to happen with our house, what's going to happen with the kids, are we going to make it through this, are we not going to make it through this? She's saying that Daniel's now in therapy. All of this stuff is really serious and super sad for a family to have to go through, and instead of protecting the details, she is doing this and then sharing it with TikTok. To me, it's very tacky, and the way that she sits on her title as a famous social media influencer, Kendal, you might want to get off your soapbox, because your channel is definitely not making what it was a few years ago. I think that your title expired at least in 2019. Let's be honest. You're not going to sit in your cute little house being a lazy ass, mooching off your poor, quote, husband, while my husband pays the price for his and your sin. And she put "your" in capital letters. I found that to be really interesting because, hey, it takes two to tango. And, you're really putting, based on this message, a lot of responsibility on her. I think that it definitely takes two. So yikes. She continued by saying, "No, ma'am. Here's how this is going to go. You're going to come clean to your hubby. And if you don't, I will spread your name and face all over the internet, and I will also reach out to blank myself and personally tell him. I'll give you a day or two to handle it correctly with him, and then I'll reach out soon to confirm you did tell him. P.S. I have pictures, texts, WhatsApp messages, all on a hard drive, so I have lots to share." And this person responded and said, "I need until Monday." And then if you go to the more recent update, she said, "P.S. I didn't wait until Monday." And the text conversation continues and says, this is from Kendal, "Fair warning, I'm not waiting until Monday. You don't deserve that." And the person responded and said, "Are you seriously threatening me?" Kendal responds and says, "There's no threats happening here. I'm just going to tell your husband about the affair. It's as simple as that. He deserves the truth." And she responded and said, "Sounds like extortion to me." This is so tacky. Some of the content that she's been putting on YouTube is talking about how her kids are doing, sharing, are we getting divorced? Are we splitting up? Living arrangements, what we did for New Year's, talking about therapy. What is Daniel saying? And as a reminder, Daniel is not giving his narration himself. It's Kendal sharing what's going on with all of these situations. And maybe he gave her full permission and he's on board with this. Who knows? But supposedly he's in this therapy program that is going to last a year. I will insert a little clip, and all credit goes to Raccoon Justice, who also made a video on this topic. I'll also link his channel down below.
I don't talk a lot about Daniel specifically. I mean, I talk about what I'm going through. I mean, I do and I don't, but I not so specifically like what he's doing, and how his response has been. But I want to say this because I do think this is important, that he is in a state of deep remorse, and I know, as he should be, but deep remorse. And he's also going to be getting therapy. It's like a year-long program that he's gonna be in with this therapist. So the journey to healing, whatever that end is, whether we're together or not, is long. The process is very long. So I just wanted you to know on his side, there's a lot of conversations that I'm not sharing with you guys. I'm protecting some of that. But for you to know, because you guys, you've been a part of Daniel's life too, and who he is and all of that, and deep regret, deep remorse. It's yeah.
But it's just, it just seems like a content grab. It seems like airing out family issues for the internet to react to. And it's funny because her subscribers will sit there in the comments and say, nobody can judge your family. Guys, if it's on the internet, it's open for commentary. If you don't want things to be given commentary on, then keep them private. We just talked about this with the Michaela situation and Rich Lux. Once it's on the internet, people are going to start having opinions about it. And you could share the most wholesome, positive, amazing video. There's still going to be, you know, a small handful of people that are literally going to hate you. You could be the best person ever, have the best track record, and there's still going to be those few that are just like, oh, you know, you're wrong. And that's just the way the internet works. I'm still sticking to my original plan. I'm not going to give commentary on their separation, what's going on, what I think might happen, speculations, because I just don't care. But I do care how this could affect her children, because let's be honest, Kendal, since you wanted to announce that you're so famous on social media, your kids' friends watch your TikToks. You know, the neighborhood kids watch your YouTube channel. Isn't that a little weird to be sharing these threatening messages and trying to, quote, spill tea when it comes to a situation of infidelity, which is very difficult to go through? And I also want to make it very clear that even though I don't respect Kendal, I still have I do have a part of me that has sympathy for her, because that's very painful to go through no matter what. I don't have to like the woman to still state the obvious that it is very painful to, you know, imagine what she must be feeling. But since I mentioned Brianna Kay several months ago, and how she was not saying a single word, she wouldn't even come and say, hey, I'm going through some adjustments, you know, bear with me, like, you know, whatever. And then we have this, which is total opposite, like trying to monetize this treacherous situation that her children are in the middle of. And, you know, divorce is really common. Unfortunately, infidelity is super common. I put myself back in the shoes of, you know, a kid that came from a divorced household. And I couldn't imagine if, you know, my mother was acting this way on the internet. It's embarrassing. And it really just relates back to, how are we going to get views? How are we going to make sure that even if we are airing out our most painful moments, as long as we can monetize it, throw it out there? And I think that's also why a lot of people are on the opposite side of this and thinking maybe it's just all part of their plan to insert a new storyline into their very stagnant YouTube channel. I don't want to think that somebody would do that. But again, when it comes to some of these family vloggers, I put nothing past them. And I don't think that they have a moral code. I don't think that they have a moral compass to be able to stand on. And unfortunately, the content speaks for itself. So I wanted to bring this to you guys. It's just crazy. You know, I really, now that Brianna K has kind of filled in her subscribers and she shared what she was comfortable with sharing, and that's all great. I do have I have a profound piece of respect to give to her. I know that my respect means nothing to her or anyone else, so you don't have to correct me. But I do have some respect for her because she went radio silent. And even if that's not what, you know, I still think that it could have been done a little bit differently to give a vague explanation of what was going on. And it didn't even have to have the word divorce in it. But then I see something like what Kendal's doing, and it just gives me a little bit of a different perspective on how two people that both have decent sized platforms, whether or not they're super lucrative, that's another conversation, makes you kind of look at both sides of the coin. So that's why I wanted to bring it to you guys. So yeah, sound off down below. What do you think about all of this? Kendal is just messy. She likes drama. She likes, you know, acting like a Karen. She likes flipping off the handle on people, and she definitely puts her kids right in the center of the messes that she causes, and this is no different. So I wish them the best, but damn, what a mess. So either way, that's going to be it for now. If you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.